Tell me a good idea you thought of.
Any good idea?
Yeah.
Noble Head Funnies was a good idea.
Hey everyone, it's FANzine Live. This is Tom. I have for you a world zine coming out of Dublin, Ireland. And this zine was sent to me by an individual named Connor McHale. And Connor had a life project that he wanted to do, and he did a graphic novel or novella version of Jonathan Swift's Modest Proposal. And basically what he did was, in a similar but not identical vein to what Steve Willis did with The Tragedy of Morty, in this one, McHale kept the text of Swift's pamphlet, but then added his sequential art pieces to it. It's really impressive, and I think you're going to have fun looking at it. Now, if you're not familiar with the Modest Proposal, I think the cover really does tell you exactly what we're talking about here. It's a modest proposal for preventing the children of the poor people in Ireland from being a burden to their parents or country and for making them beneficial to the public. Yes, it is a satiric masterpiece of 1729. This is a legend in satirical writing. And if you note, we are talking about the consumption of small children to make them less of a burden on society. As a piece of satire, it's genius. Nice looking end papers. Really nice construction. I mean, this is graphic novel quality. Yes, a young, healthy child, well nursed, is at a year old, the most delicious, nourishing, and wholesome food. Yeesh. Sensitively illustrated by Mr. Connor McHale. He did this introduction, really nicely done, explaining a little bit about Swift, about the pamphlet business in Swift's writing career and how it all intersected, but then also went past that. He says that Gulliver's Travels was Jonathan Swift's best-known work. A Modest Proposal comes in a close second. And here we go. Notice we have typeset word balloons because these are the exact words, as I understand it, that Swift actually wrote. Now, I will admit, I did not go back and look at a straight text of A Modest Proposal, but I do believe that he is lifting this straight from the pamphlet. Now, here's where it gets interesting, though. The images are not from the pamphlet. The pamphlet was strictly text. This is where McHale really gets to have fun. So if you look here, you'll see that we're talking about asking for alms and how these poor mothers are running around with all these children asking for a penny, and the guy says, sod off. These images are what are conjured in McHale's mind as he's reading this and interpreting it. So, for example, down here at the bottom, got to find a way of making fair, cheap, and easy method of making the children sound and useful members of the Commonwealth. And so he's got them pulling a wagon full of coal, little kids. It's a pleasure to be so useful to the Commonwealth. When you have typeset, you have Swift's text. When you have anything else, imagery, your different sound effects, word balloons, or captions or the like, then you're doing McHale's piece. But this is really good. It is really dark. If you are into dark humor like I am, and notice this is extremely glossy, if you are into that, you will have a fun time reading it. This is a very creative and enjoyable version of A Modest Proposal. And it brings it to light. I mean, how insane the whole idea was. I can't believe anybody would have taken this seriously. Hopefully nobody did. But I mean, we're talking about how these kids are a most delicious and nourishing and wholesome food. He's showing all these awful descriptions of how they could be eaten. It's really, really crazy fun. But Swift and then McHale really do point out how ludicrous the whole idea is. These poor children were considered to be a drain on the Commonwealth, that they were not necessarily of any real economic value. And so we had to prescribe some value to them. The way they suggested was, let's cook them. Get rid of the extras, the extra kids. It's just brilliant. And he does such a fine job pulling this off. The satire just runs so oh my gosh, covering up England in brown sauce. Yeah. So let me suggest if you are so inclined. And then he has a little bit of interpretation in the back as well, and nice piece on himself. I would strongly suggest take a look at this one. I will have information on how to pick it up in the show notes. This is a really good use of the sequential art graphic novel of the zine format. It's very well done, and I'm so glad that Connor sent this along, because I never would have even known that it existed, which I think is why he sent it along, because he wanted me to share it with you guys. And thus I have, because it's worth it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you read The Modest Proposal before? If you have, compare what you read to what you just quickly saw. I would be very interested to hear what you think. In addition, like the video, subscribe to FANzine Live, and tell your friends, because we look at just about everything, including graphic novel reinterpretations of 1729 pamphlets. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This is FANzine Live World Zines. I'm Tom, and I will catch you next time.